Is my phone listening to me to show me targeted ads? I feel like we've all wondered about this, but no one really has the answer. When we check articles or YouTube videos, some people agree while others disagree. Still, you've definitely had this experience before. You're chatting with a friend about needing a new mattress, and then, over the next few days, ads for mattresses and pillows start appearing everywhere. Is it just a coincidence? To finally put an end to this question, I coded a program that will automatically analyze whether or not there's a correlation between what I say and the ads that show up. To be as rigorous as possible, I'm going to build my experiment in 3 phases. First, I'll create a program that collects all the ads that appear on my phone throughout the day. Next, I'll create a system that categorizes each ad to say whether it's about dog food, computer keyboards, travel, so that I can then generate a graph showing me the evolution of the number of ads in each category. And finally, I'm going to talk about a very specific desire in front of my phone every day for a week, and I'll mention things I don't particularly want so that my behavior can't have influenced the ads. In the end, if we see that the graph for the car category, for example, is at 0 ads per day, and after talking about cars to my phone it increases the next day, well, we'll have a lot of questions to ask. We might suspect a correlation. First, I need to find a way to gather all the ads I see on my phone. And that, no matter if I'm on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, or even just browsing the internet. Yeah, ads are everywhere. To be as thorough as possible, I need a system that collects them without me having to think about it. Because, well, you know as well as I do, but scrolling past ads has become kind of an automatic reflex to skip them. We don't even think about it. There's no way I'd remember to screenshot them every time. For that, the plan is to create an app that will continuously record my iPhone screen while I'm using it. In other words, I'm going to monitor myself. This way, I'll capture everything that happens on video, including the ads. And since I spend almost 5 hours a day on my phone, I'm addicted, let's be honest, we're going to see a lot of ads. Now on iOS, making an app that records the screen is very simple. You just have to put this bit of code in, but unfortunately, we can't just do it like that. On an iPhone, monitoring yourself this way is, paradoxically, really complicated. For obvious security reasons, Apple has heavily restricted this feature for developers. So if I want to record my screen, I have to open my app and Apple will require me to manually authorize it with a pop-up. If I accidentally lock my phone, I have to start over. The app becomes useless, so I might as well record directly from the settings menu. But well, I know myself. I'm not going to remember to start it every time I use my phone. I found another solution. There's a system that streamers who play mobile games are very familiar with. It's about creating a setup that will capture the phone's screen and display it on a PC. For that, you can buy a USB-C to HDMI adapter, an HDMI cable, and a capture card. This whole little setup will allow me to link what's on my screen to my PC. The capture card will create a video stream that I can, for example, pick up in OBS. Or directly with a small Python program, like this one. This is my program. Thanks to that, look, I'm able to create an MP4 file that matches my screen. The program renamed the file with the start date and time, making it easier to create statistics later. Even if I turn my phone on and off multiple times, I'll still have several video files as long as it's connected to my PC. Honestly, it's not my best idea. The issue with this setup is I have to keep my phone connected to my PC all the time to use it. Thankfully, it's winter and I rarely go out. To continue our program and have files to analyze, I spent several hours on my phone. I end up with a huge MP4 file, a big video that potentially contains hundreds of ads inside. But as long as it's just a video, my program can't analyze anything. It doesn't know where the ads start, where they end, or what's written on them. First, we're going to start by cutting this video into still images. Basically, in my code, I'm going to extract one image for every second of video. If I spend 5 hours on my phone in a day, that's 18,000 seconds. So that's 18,000 images to retrieve. It sounds big when you say that, but for a computer, it's nothing. Don't worry. Here we are with a huge folder of images. It's better than a video, but we still have the problem of identifying which images contain ads, since most aren't ads. It's like my homepage, a snippet of a conversation, something weird someone sent me on Instagram. People send me weird stuff on Instagram, but feel free to follow me there. I'm really happy to get those. So now I'm going to use a very handy requirement apps have to follow. On most apps and websites, ads are required to have a little label, like sponsored, advertisement, or even ad. Since ads are designed to blend in as naturally as possible with the content, this still lets us tell them apart. So we could just teach our program to read these screenshots and spot those keywords. For that, we're going to use a technology called OCR, which stands for Optical Character Recognition. It's more or less an ancestor of the AI we know today, but it uses a lot fewer resources. And so, we can run it on a simple PC like mine. This technology will analyze all the pixels in the image to recognize characters and extract text. If I use this screenshot from Instagram as an example, we see an ad. The program detected sponsored and set the screenshot aside. In this image, there's no such mention, so the program thinks it's not an ad and deletes it, but an ad clearly lasts longer than 1 second. So if I have several images in a row that contain the ad mention, I group them all together in one block, and in the end, I only keep the image in the middle. The last step now, before talking to my iPhone about very specific topics, would be to categorize. Saying that this is a mattress ad, that is a bank ad, and so on and so forth, to finally give me some statistics. To do that, I think you see where I'm going. We're going to use AI. Specifically, the OpenAI API, designed for this, like OpenAI Vision. I hope it won't cost too much. There are thousands of types of ads that can exist, from accounting software to insurance to watches, so I don't want to have 100,000 different labels. So to simplify categorization anyway, I created a big list of general categories: pet food, headphones, phone, travel. Like, if I say I want to go to Madrid, we'll see if the travel category increases. Then, it's really simple, I make a request to OpenAI's Vision by giving it my screen and this prompt. In the following list, choose which category best matches this ad. The AI will analyze my image and give me a category, and I just have to store it in a file with the date and time of the ad. I don't need to train a complex model myself, which is great since it's annoying, as shown in the video. The cost is also acceptable because I'm not uploading all 18,000 images at once. Again, if we let the machine run, we'll get this kind of file. It gathers all our data in JSON format, and since everything is well organized with dates, I just have to connect a library that generates charts to this file. We could generate various charts, but two interest me most. For example, pie charts showing the proportion of ads I see daily. And if I also connect the data from previous days, I can generate this kind of curve, which in this case shows the evolution of ads in the travel category over the days. It would have been interesting if I'd mentioned wanting to travel 3 days ago. At the end of the video, you can judge me by the ads I get and see if they're random. And most importantly, see how the categories I target with my discussion topics evolve. So, our whole setup is working. All we have to do now is set up an automation to get nice graphs every day. There's something annoying about what I just coded. It's that the whole analysis process takes an insane amount of time. Between the time it takes to identify text on 15,000 images and OpenAI limiting my requests every minute, it can take more than an hour to run. This is the very last step before I can answer the question. All I have left is to tackle some ultra-specific topics in front of my iPhone. We're going to do it together today so you can see how I go about it. Spoiler alert, it might be a bit awkward. And just so you know, I'll keep doing this for a week, choosing a different topic each day. Today's theme is dog food. I picked this theme because I don't have any pets. So really, normally, it's pretty unlikely that I'd get ads for that. Anyway, you can even see it from the analysis of the previous days. I got 0 ads for that. I need to pick topics I have absolutely no interest in, otherwise I might affect the experiment. For example, suppose I actually had a dog. If I regularly watch videos on how to train your dog, well, the algorithm is going to suspect that I have a dog, and so naturally it would show me ads for dog food. In this case, believe me, that's not going to happen, unless my phone is listening to me. I can't remember, but I wanted to find dog food. I'm not sure what kind the dog likes, but we need to get some new dog food. I'm still unsure which dog food to buy. Honestly, I've never felt so alone during this experiment. If anyone really needs to illustrate loneliness in one of their videos, feel free to use these clips. Anyway, we'll wait 2 days and see if there's any change in the pet food section. I was holding back for now. Pictures speak louder than words, so here's the graph. This is the day I talked about dog food, and I got 2 ads 2 days later. 2 ads out of a ton of ads, honestly. It's not as obvious as being flooded with ads from that category overnight, but it's still interesting. Honestly, it's the ideal result to keep me motivated. I'm not gonna lie, it's a pretty annoying experience because every time I have to carry around this crazy setup. I have to stay connected to my PC 24/7. I can't just chill in my bed. I'm going to show you my bingo card of the topics I tested. Keep in mind, these are really unlikely topics for me, obviously. Monday, as we saw together, it was pet food. Tuesday, I tried home insurance. Wednesday, a trip to Japan. So this one I actually kind of like. So there's a chance that for this one, the results are a bit biased. Thursday, a new PC. And Friday, a new mattress. Tuesday, a new PC. Tuesday, a new wow. On the first day, we tested dog food, and this chart is quite interesting because we can see that we had 0 ads in the dog food category, and 2 days later, we had a small spike, and we had another ad that apparently appeared on Tuesday. There is a small correlation, but it's not clear enough yet. We'll see in the following days. Well, this one is pretty clear. The insurance category, we had no ads. We didn't get any after I talked about it. There's no correlation. The travel category, same thing, we already had a few ads before. Honestly, that doesn't surprise me. And we had, let's say, a bit more in the following days, but honestly, it's not very representative. 3 ads. Well, that's 3 ads among hundreds of ads, so I'm not sure we can really say there's a correlation. Then, on Thursday, I needed a new PC. We can see that over the, let's say, 6 days after, well, we only got 1 hardware ad. And finally, what will wrap up our experiment is Friday, the mattress category. No ads before, no ads after. There's really no correlation. Actually, we never see dozens of ads daily on a topic after discussing it. There seems to be no link between what I say and the ads on my phone. The issue with targeted ads must have another cause. It's probably not your iPhone that's listening to you, but rather the apps themselves that analyze your behavior on them. And actually, analyzing your behavior is even more precise than listening to you. We know which video you watch, how long you watch it, and when you like it. You're unknowingly telling the algorithm your interests. You're telling it if you've just had a child, if you have money, or if you've just moved. That's why, if you talk out loud about something you want and then see related ads, it's not because you're being listened to, but because the algorithm inferred your intent or profile from your actions. This is Awen. Bye.